Today I'm inspecting my brood and a half colony, which basically means the bees have a full brood box plus a super they're using for extra brood space. Let's see how they're getting on. Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm a new beekeeper. I've documented my journey and today I'm sharing a full hive inspection. If you're also learning, this should give you a good idea of what to look for inside a brood and a half colony. When I first start an inspection, I'll always gently smoke the entrance. This is just to ensure the bees are calm. Um, As you will see, taking off the roof, I've already given the bees a feed. This was when there was a bit of a shortage on, so there was little forage coming in. So I've given them 1-on-1 syrup with a pollen pate. Here I'm just going into the brood box itself. I'm just taking off the super brood or the brood super. As you can see, I was struggling a little bit with my hive tool then. It wasn't the most sharpest. It has been sharpened since. Um, I also noticed that I've put a cover over the brood super. That's because wasps were really a pain at this time of the year. And just to protect my bees, it was easy just to cover them to stop the wasps trying to get into the super itself. As you can see in the brood box, I'm now inspecting. So this is the main brood box, and I just want to check that I have brood in all stages. It's called bias, but basically means that there's eggs, larvae, and cap brood. That tells me that the queen is laying well and that she's active, and that hopefully she is content. With the eggs and larvae itself, I'm looking for like a little rice grain. It's so minute. In the centre of the comb itself, and with the larvae they're a pearly white colour and of a C shape. I'll also look for any signs of disease or swarm cells and make sure the colony has enough space to expand. And in this case, that's why I went for a brood and a half instead, was to give them more space, and also to encourage the queen to lay more. I'm very conscious that this was in July and the rate that she will lay starts to decline around about the end of August time into September. So I wanted to give as much space as possible to try and encourage more laying, before they get to that time of the season where they do start to, which does start to reduce. You'll notice here that a couple of frames that are out on side, they are still undrawn or partially drawn. I was hoping that the syrup would encourage the bees to draw them out, but at this stage they still hadn't done it. So bees will be bees, just work with them, give them what they need, and they will do their own thing. So I'm guided by them really. Again, just use a little bit more smoke just to keep them calm. I mean, to be fair, I'm really quite lucky. This is a lovely colony. I've not been stung to date. They're very easy to work with. Um, yeah, just a pleasure basically. As you will see there, as I'm checking the frame for the brood itself, you can lightly blow on the bees and they will just move out the way, or sometimes just gently rub the back of your hand across them and they will move just so you can get better inspection when you're going through each frame. As you can see, I'm still going through each frame, just checking for eggs, larvae, and sealed brood. And again, checking for any diseases. I am mentally also keeping a note of what I'm seeing because after my inspection, I will go back and document it. So I keep written records as well as updating an app on my phone, which I think is called B Plus. There was an initial fee, but then after that, it's you can update as much as you want and put as much information in there as you need to. Um, I would recommend keeping notes. It's really encouraged by the association I've joined with. This is more because if you ever have the inspector come out, you've got everything to hand, but also you can go back and refer to it. You can check how things have progressed, if there's been any issues, or how things have worked out, if they're good or not, particularly as you move on with your beekeeping career. So at this point, I'm really pleased. The queen is laying well. There is a good brood pattern. Um, so I'm really pleased with what she's doing. Oh, there's Hubby in the background. He's just helping me lay some flooring out in my apiary. Um, yeah, she's been doing fantastically. So I've been really pleased with her. So next year I intend to do the Bee Basic exam. So I really want to improve on my skill base and knowledge of beekeeping. So potentially over this winter, whilst things slow down with the hive itself, I will look to do a bit of studying and then prepare to do the exam next year, with the hope of then going on and doing the intermediate courses later on. Um, I really want to make this my thing. I do thoroughly enjoy it, and I'm hoping that next year, from this queen, I will create a daughter, a supersedure, that I will move into another nuke, and then a hive itself. So here, just to try and encourage the bees to draw out those undrawn frames a bit, I've actually moved them inside a little bit, in the hope that that will encourage them then to draw them out a bit more. So now for the super, I'll do exactly the same inspections as I've just done in the brood box. You see here that the queen excluder is on, which I'll remove in a moment. Just double check on the underside that the queen's not on there as well before I remove it and place it elsewhere. So in this super, the brood super, you'll see they've also got some capped honey. Martha, that's probably actually syrup that I've been providing for them. But as this is their stores, I won't be using it for any honey extraction, and I'm not intending to do any honey extraction this year. That'll be from next year onwards, hopefully. So whatever they produce is going to be for them going over the winter. As you'll see, it just go through as I get more to the centre of the super itself. I then do start to come across some brood. I think there's about 3 or 4 frames at this point that actually have brood on. And again, as before, just inspecting that there's eggs, larvae, and sealed brood. It's all in good conditions. It's all pearly white, in a seed shape. There's no diseases, and nothing sort of suspicious that I need to be concerned about. As you saw there was Queenie, or Queen Beatrice, as she's been named. I'm thoroughly proud of her, laying really well, really pleased with the colony itself, very calm, busy, lots of bees around, covering the frames. So yeah, I'm thoroughly happy with what she's been doing. So when I decided to go for a brood and a half, I did a bit of research actually online, and there seemed to be bit mixed reviews on people's opinions of it. Some people say just go for a brood, some say go for double brood. I think mainly the concerns were because of the different size frames from the brood box and the super. I've not really found it much of an issue, to be honest. I don't know if that's because I've not tried a double brood itself yet. Maybe that'll be next year. But how do you get on with it? Have you ever tried or worked with a brood and a half colony, or do you prefer a single brood? Let me know in the comments. Like I say, I've not found it too bad, but I don't know any different at the moment. So this is all new for me. Maybe next year and say I will try the double brood and see how that works. As you will see, Rookiera, I forgot to put the queen excluder back on. Quick clean of it because they've been drawing out extra comb on top. So just give that a quick clean and then put it back on. Yeah, I always forget something. So that was the day's brood and half inspection. As you've heard me say, and as you've seen, the queen is laying well. Colony has plenty of space and stores, and they're looking strong for the season ahead. Said my main aim is to get them through the winter. And so far, I think they're going to be just fine. Fingers crossed. As the bees are still munching through the pollen pate, I've left that on for them. Um, I didn't bother putting any more syrup on. I left it this time. Thank you for joining me at my apiary today. I'll see you in the next hive inspection.